Hey guys, it's Jay from ASMR for Nerds. Today is, I've actually been pretty excited to do this video, for about a week now. Reason being is because I got this in Marvel Universe official Marvel Superheroes trading cards in the mail. And as you can see, it is a fully sealed package. Still in the wrapping. And these were from the year, let's see, 1990. So this package has been wrapped for 26 years. And what I'm going to do for you guys is unwrap it, and we'll see what's inside. I used to collect these cards. This is the Series 1. So I started collecting at Series 1 through Series 3 when I was a kid. Me and my brother would play this game where, just like, you play war with cards, where we'd put the card down, and whoever would win in a fight wins that. And, we would argue about it. It was a lot of fun, and I imagine it would still be fun, but kind of strange to play as adults. But okay, so let's get into this. I have a key here to open it up. Some pretty strong wrapping. Doesn't want to come off. Okay. See, in the store, it would be displayed like this. Because that's what this is. This is meant to be a store display for those selling the cards. You might have seen a box like this. And I'm sure some of the older viewers. Remember that. Okay, so there are, I believe, 36 packs in here. Packs of 12. So what I'm going to do is just start opening them. I might get through all of them, I don't know. You guys have no idea how much I've been dying to get into this. See, each pack has a different character on the cover. So we have Wolverine and Captain America here. So I'm going to put the box aside and start getting into these. I put a little chip in my leather table piece here, which stinks. I don't know what that was from. Okay, so let's get into the first pack. Oh, jeez, these are hard to open too. Now, when I was a kid, I had like the same favorites that I do now. So anytime I got a Silver Surfer, Thanos, all those guys, got pretty excited. So that's what I'm looking for here. They also come with holographic cards. Okay, pack number 1. Let's go through them one by one. So first card we have is a big one. We have Thor. Now these cards were numbered, and it gave a breakdown of their origin and all that. So I'll read you. The guys who I find interesting are maybe some characters that I don't know the full story of. We could get a little glimpse in here. So let's start going with Thor. Earthly identity, Eric Masterson. Now, that is unique to the Thor of the early 90s. So this isn't the original Thor. Group affiliation, the Avengers. It has a number of battles fought, I guess, that they took from all his comics, and they put together that he has fought 2,746 times, and that is since only up till 1990 when these were made. So you can imagine what that number is up to now. Win percentage. It shows how often they win a fight, and I'm very surprised at this. Thor's win percentage is 63%. For a god of thunder, you would think he would be better than that. And his arch enemies are Enchantress, Ulick, Loki, and Absorbing Man. Nicknames Goldilocks, Scion of Asgard. And this, I think, is one of the most important part of these cards, is that each one tells you the first appearance of each character. So Thor first appeared in Journey into Mystery number 83, August 1962. A lot of people who don't really read comics would assume that the first appearance of every character is in their own number 1. So Thor number 1 would be the first appearance. But that is not the case in most with most characters. most characters do show up in other comics. So that's Thor. Next is Electro. Electro is a bad guy, mainly used against Spider-Man, but he has been used as a bad guy in other stories, specifically the Punisher run most recently by Nathan Edmondson. I was thinking Jim Edmonds, the old baseball player. Okay, so Electro's name is Maxwell Dillon. Group affiliation, Sinister Six. He fought 188 battles, and his the win percentage was 38%. So not a very effective bad guy. And here it says his archenemy is Spider-Man. First appearance, Amazing Spider-Man number 9 in February of 1964. So there he is. Okay, next. So not every card was a single character card. They had, as you can see here in our next two, team pictures and famous battles. So they would have like historical things, teams and battles over time. So here we have the X-Men. So this is the X-Men in the early 90s version, the one from the cartoons and comics. So the team members are Banshee, Havoc, Storm, Jubilee, Wolverine, Gambit, Psylocke, Forge, Rogue, and Sunder. The X-Men team has changed over the years significantly. Back and forth, a lot of characters come and go. Most notably, recently Wolverine has left and come back as Old Man Logan. So next card. Famous battles. So when Fantastic Four numbers 57 through 60, December 1966 through March 1967, where in New York City, Latveria, and elsewhere. Now obviously this is not the only time they fought. This might be the first or one of the first most significant. So let's read about it. Dr. Doom had stolen the Silver Surfer's power cosmic to use in conquering the world. No weapon on Earth could stop him, even Doom's arch-enemies. The Fantastic Four fell before his evil might. Out of desperation, Mr. Fantastic built the anti-cosmic flying wing to drain the cosmic energy from Doom. When Doom set out to destroy the robot craft, it led him to the edge of space, a barrier that Galactus, the Surfer's former master, had forbade the Surfer to pass. The impact sent Doom falling to Earth, stripped of his power, and defeated. These cards have like a nice thick cardboard stock to them. Looks like we got a bunch of famous battles in this pack. Let's see how many. Now the famous battles were cool, I guess, but much preferred getting the character ones. So these are all the famous battles we've got. And I think you guys could guess which one I'm going to want to read. Because I don't want to spend too much time on each pack, because I want to get through more packs. Really open for some of those holograms. So, Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. You know what, being that I don't know what that is. Oh, I guess it's just Magneto and the bad guys. You know what, let's take that one away. And then Spider-Man vs. Venom, I feel like we all have an idea of that one. Now let's take away Daredevil vs. Kingpin, because everybody knows that too. So let's read these two. Daredevil vs. Bullseye is an important rivalry, and Silver Surfer vs. Thanos is one of my favorite. So Daredevil vs. Bullseye. Bullseye had become the Kingpin's assassin, and a key player in the Kingpin's battle to regain control of all the New York City mobs. Daredevil vowed to stop the Kingpin and bring both him and Bullseye to justice. In a sub-basement of a skyscraper, Daredevil and Bullseye faced off for a final battle. At one point, Bullseye, who can turn any object into a lethal weapon, attempted to use Daredevil's own billy club to kill him. But Daredevil gained the upper hand and defeated Bullseye, sending him to jail. The Kingpin, however, remained free. And this happened in Daredevil number 172 in July of 1981 in New York City. Let's read Silver Surfer vs. Thanos. Thanos, the insane cosmic power being who worships death, had returned. Convinced that the Silver Surfer couldn't stop him, he arrogantly told the Surfer that he planned to present the lives of half the population of the known universe as an offering to his dark mistress. The battle between them raged across the universe. In the end, the Silver Surfer thought he had destroyed Thanos, but Thanos had used a double of himself to trick him, leaving the true Thanos free to complete his plan. So that wasn't really exactly how their fight went. It was close enough. I mean, it wasn't really a fight. That's the beginning of the Infinity Gauntlet story that I did a reading through of. If you guys look in my playlists, it has all of the Infinity Gauntlet books. I did a full read through of that. Oh wow, so we have some good ones here. We have Havoc, the X-Men, Black Panther, whose new issue just came out, and I think I'm going to do a read through of that once we're a couple of issues in, because it's a unique book in that it was the writer they chose for it. It's not a comic book writer. The new Black Panther is written by an award-winning author, and excuse me if I don't know his pronunciation, but I think it's Taneshi or Tanishi Coates. Wrote a book called Between the World and Me that won a lot of awards, and it was a great book. I actually read it a week before finding out that Black Panther was going to be written by him, so that was kind of strange timing, and the first issue was great, so looking forward to more of those. So let's first take a look at Havoc because I feel like he's the least known and maybe we could learn something about him. Real name, Alex Summers. Group affiliation, the X-Men. Battles fought, 344, and he has a 53% win percentage. Arch enemies, of course, Magneto, Hellfire, Club, and the Marauders. And his first appearance was in X-Men number 54 in March of 1969. Let's read about Havoc. Havoc has the mutant power to project concentrated blasts of charged plasma energy enough to shatter a mountainside. But his power is so uncontrollable that he must wear his special costume to channel it safely. Kinda like Cyclops. Although he prefers living a normal life over superheroing, Havoc recently rejoined the X-Men after his lover, Polaris, was turned into the vengeance-seeking Malice by the mutinating Marauders. And on the bottom it says, "Did you know Havoc's brother is none other than the former X-Men and present X-Factor leader known as Cyclops?" Which is why before it said, reminds you of Cyclops. Now the Punisher, everybody knows the Punisher, right? He's had a couple of failed movies, and now is in the new Daredevil season. So you all know somewhat about him, right? I guess. His name is Frank Castle, and he has a win per. Wow, look at Punisher. And this is kind of what I assumed when I saw this card. Punisher seems to always win fights. Remember Thor's win percentage was at what, in the 60s or 50s? But the Punisher's is 89%. That's because the Punisher has no superpowers. I mean, of course, he's fighting lesser threats, but that's kind of his thing, is that he's just got nothing to lose and almost always wins. But you know the story of the Punisher. I think kind of Marvel's tough guy, Batman sort of character. And Black Panther is an important character coming up. He's going to be in the Civil War movie. But it's good to know about him because he's going to take on a more important role in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And although he hasn't had a book in a while, a comic book, in years, he just started his #1 this week, so I will tell you guys all about him. So his name is, and I don't know exactly how to pronounce this, T'Challa, or Chala. Group affiliation, the Avengers. He has fought 413 battles and won 257 of them for a 62% win percentage. His arch enemies are Claw, Man-Ape, and Eric Killmonger. Of course, in more recent comics, his arch enemies, are the Submariner, or Submariner, however you're supposed to say it. Even though they're both good guys, they're in a feud. Atlantis and Black Panther's Wakanda are always in a feud lately. Although that has ended, there's still tension. And Black Panther fought, Thanos, and as part of the new Avengers had some pretty serious enemies, so as heir to the throne of the African nation of Wakanda, T'Challa was also heir to the powers of the sacred panther totem. By ingesting a secret formula made from mystic tropical herbs, his natural strength, speed, and agility were phenomenally enhanced, and he learned to track and stalk as well as any jungle cat. Now, as the Black Panther, he is an internationally renowned hero and the protector of his people. So he is the ruler, the king of a nation, And Wakanda is the most advanced nation on Earth in the Marvel comic universe. And they've gotten to be where they are through because their land is rich with vibranium. That is the unbreakable element that Captain America's shield is made of. So they mine for that, and that's why they've become the richest and most powerful, or most technologically advanced country. So that was a pretty good pack. We got Black Panther and Thor and some good ones. So now let's get into this one. Now this is the Wolverine pack. And I'm going to open these upside down and not show you guys because I don't want to spoil it. Okay, so the first card we have here is a checklist card. Kind of a waste, but back in the day before the internet, if you wanted to know you had all of the cards, you would have to use these checklists. Okay, so first card we have is an important one. Mr. Fantastic of the Fantastic Four. We'll read through the important ones for sure. Reed Richards is his name. Win percentage 70. Arch enemies Galactus and Doctor Doom. First appearance Fantastic Four #1 back in November of 1961. And some would call the Fantastic Four #1 the most important comic in the Marvel universe. It was really the first time that comic book characters had real life problems. They lived in New York City. They were a dysfunctional sort of family. They would argue. The city would get involved when they destroyed buildings. It was the first time that had that element in it, and it made it feel more real. In comparison to DC's universe, where Batman and Superman are from fictional cities, the fact that they were from New York, I think, helped Marvel a lot in the long run because it really allows people to relate to the characters. So, it says, while on a space mission aboard an experimental rocket of his own design, the brilliant scientist Reed Richards was bombarded by cosmic rays. The radiation gave him the amazing ability to change his body into any shape imaginable. No wonder that No wonder that he took the name Mr. Fantastic. Since then, he has used his powers and his genius to defend Earth from the most powerful, most evil, and most bizarre supervillains the world has ever known. So that's Mr. Fantastic. I'm going to go through these a bit quicker. Let's do team pictures first. Let's see what we got in this pack. A lot of team pictures so far. Another good pack as I'm looking through it. Okay. So team pictures, we have Alpha Flight, who are like a Canadian, basically just a Canadian superhero group. X Factor, which look like the X-Men. Excalibur, and Hellfire Club. So, Alpha Flight I'm going to take away because I don't think they're very relevant. Club are definitely not relevant anymore. And then we have Excalibur and X Factor. Let's read through Excalibur. Team members: Captain Britain, Megan, Nightcrawler, Shadowcat, and Phoenix. And the first appearance was Excalibur Special Edition in 1988. Great Britain's Excalibur is the greatest superhero team of Europe. Its members include the former X-Men, Nightcrawler, Shadowcat, and Phoenix. England's greatest superhero champion, Captain Britain, and the mutant changeling, Megan. Excalibur's adventures have brought them to several dimensions and many bizarrely different versions of our world. On many occasions, the team has prevented extra-dimensional superpowered menaces from conquering Earth. And it says, did you know? Excalibur travels from dimension to dimension in a railway train powered by a giant dragon. So that is Excalibur. Now let's take a look at X Factor. Team members: Beast, Cyclops, Iceman, Archangel, Marvel Girl. First appearance, X Factor #1, January of 1986. X Factor is a superheroic team whose stated purpose is to locate new mutants and then teach them how to control their powers. Their task has become increasingly difficult because of the rampant anti-mutant hysteria sweeping the United States. But this hysteria has made X Factor even more determined to help their fellow mutants. Ultimately, they hope mankind and mutant kind will be able to live together in peace. And it says, did you know the founding members of X Factor are also the original members of the X-Men? So there you go, there's X Factor. And of course, eventually X Factor was kind of taken over and led by Cable. Now, let's go through the famous battles. A couple of interesting superhero cards in here, and supervillains. So for famous battles, we have Iron Man versus Titanium Man, X-Men versus Magneto, and Captain America versus Red Skull. Now I feel like there are two obvious choices here in what we should read when it comes to significance. But Captain America and Red Skull, I think we know, or it's enough in the general knowledge. And X-Men vs. Magneto, we also know. So what we're going to read is Iron Man vs. Titanium Man. Okay. This happened in Tales of Suspense, numbers 69 through 71, in September to November of 1965. In North Africa. Titanium Man, the superpowered champion of the Soviet Union, challenged Iron Man to a duel. The Soviet super soldiers' goals were simple: crush Iron Man, achieve a stunning propaganda victory for his government, and gain vast wealth, power, and glory for himself. However, Titanium Man's self-serving schemes caught to naught, for, after an epic, globally televised battle, it was Iron Man who emerged victorious for all the world to see. So let's take a look at Titanium Man. I don't know if it's really focusing, but trust me, he's not very impressive. Okay, so got some super villain cards in this pack. We have Lizard and Mole Man. Now, between these two, I am inclined to read about Lizard because, you know what, I don't find either of these guys very interesting, so I'm not going to read either. But Mole Man's character is kind of the go-to Daredevil and Fantastic Four bad guy when they just want a nuisance in the city. That's basically what he is, just like a nuisance. He lives underground and stuff, just causes problems. He has this army of moloids, they're called. And then Lizard is just one of the significant bad guys in the Spider-Man universe. And basically just another mutated doctor. Okay, so still going with this pack. The superhero cards. We got Captain America and Archangel. We all know about Captain America. Oh, this is actually a card for Captain America's motorcycle, which is a Harley Davidson Custom Special with a 700cc HV V-twin inline 4-stroke engine. I'm not too interested in his motorcycle, so he doesn't even really ride it ever. I haven't seen that in a long time. Archangel. Let's read about him. I think he's an interesting character. Real name, Warren Worthington III. And he was, at the time, an X Factor. He, win percentage, 65%. Arch enemy, Apocalypse. First appearance in X-Men #1, September 1963. With his metallic wings, Archangel can soar faster than the speed of sound, and with a thought, the high-flying mutant can cause them to shoot armor-ripping razor darts laced with a paralyzing neurotoxin. But his awesome powers come with an awful price. If he's not careful, he'll lapse into a berserker rage and attack both friend and foe alike with lethal ferocity. So he's kind of the loose cannon of the X-Men. Lastly, in this pack, we have a card, Most Valuable Comics. And I like these cards because they teach you, about some of the history of some of these comics. And here they have Journey into Mystery. Number, I can't read that. But I believe this is the first appearance of Thor. Original price was 12 cents, yet Journey into Mystery number 83. And the 1990 price guide values it at $750. I would imagine that's probably pushing $2,000 at this point, maybe even more. And the credits are Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, and Dick Ayers. It's a pretty solid team. So that was the first appearance of Thor. So if you're at Comic Con or a comic show, and you see this book for cheap, pick it up. Let's open another. I'm just going to do a quick, I'm not going to read through these. I don't know what's in here yet. This way we could get through a couple more packs and see what we could get. The Hulk. Cloak and Dagger. Black Cat. Storm. X-Men in the Savage Land. Shot. Fall of the Mutants. So, Cloak and Dagger I'm going to take away. X-Men in the Savage Land. No thanks. Fall of the Mutants. Okay, none of these characters, honestly, I don't know much of anything about Longshot. I know Storm. Black Cat is basically a character that plays with luck. So that's basically what she does. She's like just a thief, kind of Catwoman-esque. She's called Black Cat. And then of course Hulk. We all know the Hulk. Bruce Banner. So let's read about Longshot. He's one of those, I guess, like 80s characters. Look at his hair. He's got a mullet. Anytime back then they wanted to make a character seem like a tough guy, not playing by the rules, they just gave him a mullet. Group affiliation, X-Men. He has a win percentage of 76. His archenemies are Mojo and Spiral, and he first appeared in Longshot #1 in 1985. Longshot is a synthetic humanoid created to serve as a slave in the entertainment industry of Mojo, an extra-dimensional tyrant. But Longshot escaped, and now he uses the abilities Mojo gave him to combat his former master. Longshot has the unpredictable power of fabulous luck. Longshot has the unpredictable power of fabulous luck combined with his amazing agility. This power allows him to perform acrobatic stunts considered impossible. As long as his motives are pure, the odds are always on his side. So that's Longshot. I learned something today. Okay, the next in this pack. So we have Ghost Rider. Wow, he was considered a rookie back then. Doctor Strange. Spider-Man presents Punisher. And Red Skull. Oh, what kind of card is this? Oh, it's just a little interaction card. Okay, so Red Skull again I'm going to take away. I just don't, not a big fan. Ghost Rider rookie card. It's just a normal superhero card, but just he's labeled a rookie because I guess he's new. Because his first appearance was in Ghost Rider #1, March 1990. Okay, so we have Doctor Strange. Oh, I'll probably do a video of before his movie. So we'll wait another time. And this is a card of just the X-Men #1. The first issue of the X-Men. That came out in September 1963, and it was 12 cents. Okay, so let's get into another pack. I feel like we've gotten through 3 packs and there's 33 to go. I'm not going to do all of them. If you guys want and you like this video, let me know and I'll do more of these packs. I'll save them to open with you guys rather than just doing it myself, although it's been hard not to do it myself. Oh boy, we got a hologram. Oh, this is a good pack. We have the Magneto hologram card. I can't tell you how excited I was as a kid when I would get these hologram cards. Spider-Man, I'd say he's pretty important. Thing. Bullseye. So far, the best pack we've got. Silver Surfer vs. Mephisto. One of the first bad guys he fought. The Green Goblin. Nick Fury vs. Hydra. We got a duplicate here of Cloak and Dagger. So out of these, obviously the real gem is the Magneto hologram. So Cloak and Dagger. You know what? Let's get rid of Nick Fury vs. Hydra. I feel like that was covered plenty in the movies. Let's get rid of Bullseye because we read a little bit about him already. Green Goblin. I'm not a fan of Spider-Man villains. I just don't think they're very interesting. Let's hold on to this one because it's Silver Surfer, one of my favorites. Thing. I love Thing, but let's not get through him. Spider-Man, we all know the story. With great power comes great responsibility. And of course, let's get rid of Magneto because there's nothing to read. It's just these hologram cards. Oh, there is. Oh boy. So the hologram cards are stickers. Are they stickers? Oh no, they are stickers in the later versions. This is just a hologram. Good, because then I won't be tempted. Hey Marvel Maniacs, let me be the first to say, way to go collector dude, for being the proud owner of this, a premier limited edition Marvel Universe hologram card. Collect all 5. Oh, there's only 5 of them. Did you know, when they posed for these holographic images, it was the first time that the heroes and villains listed above were shot by a laser beam that wasn't being used as a weapon against them? It says, when they posed for these holographic images, it was the first time that the heroes and villains listed above were shot by a laser beam that wasn't being used as a weapon against them. So let's read through Cloak and Dagger. Their first appearance together was in Spectacular Spider-Man number 64 in March 1982. Now, Cloak had an extremely pivotal role in the Civil War story, which is part of the disappointment of assuming he's not going to be in the new one, in the movie. Did I say this? Yeah, the Civil War story he was in. I don't think he's going to be in the movie. And from all things pointing to the story, the original story, not having much to do with the movie itself, so disappointing. Cloak and Dagger are teenage vigilantes who use their mutant-based powers of darkness and light to protect children and teenagers, especially runaways, from drug dealers and other criminals. Though their quest to eliminate drug dealers has taken them to many nations, their main efforts are concentrated in New York City's Hell's Kitchen neighborhood. The The personal cost of their efforts is high, for they have sacrificed any hope for a normal life in order to rid New York City of drugs. See, I wasn't entirely sure, and I didn't know that that was their original intent, to be like guys fighting against drugs. So that's interesting. That's Cloak and Dagger. Now Silver Surfer and Mephisto. Their first time they fought was in Silver Surfer number 3. It says, from his extra-dimensional realm, Mephisto spied upon the Silver Surfer, a being whose utter nobility threatened the Lord of Darkness's dire quest to subjugate all mankind. He vowed to enlist the Surfer into his ranks, or destroy him. Mephisto used Shalabal, the woman the Surfer had long loved, as bait to attract him to his realm. But his efforts to tempt the Surfer with wealth and power came to naught. The Surfer resisted. Mephisto finally attempted to absorb the Surfer's soul into his own, but its purity was too much for the evil Mephisto to take. Defeated, he finally released the Surfer and freed Shalabal, vowing to crush his silver-skinned adversary the next time. So guys, that's where I'm going to end off now. We got through 4 packs. There's so many more to go. I wasn't planning on doing more of these videos, because like I said, I wanted to open these packs myself. But if you guys really want to see more of these, I will do more. Or if you'd rather see go on to do another story reading or a comic shop, you know, speak up, let me know what you guys like the most. It seems like all I can really go by is the few that comment and the views. And like I've said before, the Deadpool videos get crazy amount of views. My Infinity Gauntlet reading, not so much, although I was hoping people would be more into that. But you know, always speak up, let me know what you like. And that's it. I will see you guys real soon. I hope you are into these little cards and maybe learned a thing or two about the characters. So, I'll see you guys soon.